This is 5 on your side at 5. Focused on you.
Tonight, Israel says it has taken back control of Gaza following a surprise attack from the Palestinian militant group Hamas. Hundreds of Israelis and Palestinians are dead, along with at least 11 Americans. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Ann Allred, in for Kelly Jackson tonight. Hamas attacked Israel on Saturday by air, land, and sea. Israel then declared war, pounding Gaza with its own airstrikes. Israel says this is just the beginning. Israel has ordered a complete siege of Gaza, cutting off electricity, food, fuel, and water. That's also leaving many Palestinian civilians with nowhere to go. And today we learned nearly 700 people have died in Gaza and the West Bank. Meanwhile, authorities are still trying to figure out how many people Hamas took hostage. Hamas says it will kill one civilian hostage each time Israel targets Gaza without warning. The State Department says some American citizens are still missing, and it's not clear whether they were taken hostage, killed, or are in hiding.
And today we learned a woman from Boone County, Missouri is one of the 11 Americans killed by Hamas. That's according to our NBC affiliate KOMU in Columbia. Deborah Matthias, father, a former Mizzou faculty member, says she died protecting her son. Matthias' husband, Shlomi, also died in the attack, but their son survived.
The war is now fueling more hate against both Jewish people and Muslims. The U.S. is ramping up security at synagogues and mosques across our country.
5 on your side's Justina Cornell joins us in studio with more on an investigation happening right here in St. Louis. Justina.
Yeah, so the St. Louis Police Department confirms to me in the last 48 hours there was a report of anti-Semitic graffiti at Christie Park in South St. Louis. Here you can see a swastika sprayed on the side of this truck, which sits right next to the park. It comes at a time when anti-Semitic incidents have hit the highest level ever recorded, according to the Anti-Defamation League. That's why multiple groups are coming together to empower each other. The Jewish Federation of St. Louis started an emergency fund to provide support for families in Israel. I'm told there are dozens of St. Louis families who left the U.S. and moved to the country.
All of the dollars raised through this will go directly to the people on the ground, 100% to the people on the ground in Israel, to deal with things like rebuilding, short-term medical and trauma needs, and the long-term trauma needs that will be created by this situation.
Now, the Jewish Federation of St. Louis, along with other partners, is also hosting a community gathering this week to show support. I'm told it's a time to grieve together and connect.
People across the country are now holding pro-Israeli and pro-Palestinian rallies. Those supporting Palestinians say they want freedom for the Palestinian people. Those on the other side say they are taking a stand against the violence towards Israel and Jews.
We are now hearing from the families of civilians who were taken hostage. The victims are mothers, children, fathers, and their families are pleading for their safe return.
Saturday morning, we received video of my cousin, my beloved cousin with her two babies being kidnapped by Hamas terror group.
You just can't do this kind of things. Show the photos of my wife, of my little baby girls, and that people can see that they should be home. They shouldn't be kept as prisoners by Hamas.
Again, we still don't know exactly how many people were taken hostage. Israeli officials say some of the hostages are American, although the U.S. is still trying to confirm that information.
Tonight on NBC Nightly News, Lester Holt is live inside Israel. He hears from a retired major general with the Israeli army who rushed to save his son and grandchildren under fire in Gaza.
It must have been incredibly emotional for you. You are a trained soldier, but still, you're protecting your family at that moment.
This is by far, and I was in many battles, this is by far the most important thing that I did in my life. I was protecting my family.
You can catch this story and more in about 25 minutes right after our newscast.
Now to other news we are following tonight. A Ferguson man is demanding answers after his uncle was found dead on his neighbor's front porch.
An ambulance took Jermaine Lacey's uncle to Christian Hospital just hours before all this happened. Our Christine Byers was the first to report the story, and she's learned new information about the investigation and if this family is any closer to getting answers.
Jermaine Lacey called an ambulance for his uncle Anthony Miller on September 17th. The 72-year-old had been living with him for the past 2 years and was having a hard time breathing. An ambulance took him to Christian Hospital. About 7 hours later, this surveillance footage shows his neighbor finding his uncle's body on their front porch. It was almost 3 o'clock in the morning.
All I want is answers of how and why did they drop him off so early in the morning at the wrong spot.
5 on Your Side first reported the story September 27th. Not long after that, Lacey got a letter from the hospital dated September 28th.
I was relieved that they did say something because of you. I feel if you wouldn't have stepped in, I would have not received anything.
The letter reads, "We are in the initial stages of our investigation. Our goal is to address those issues as quickly as possible."
I just want to get answers from the hospital of why they released somebody that age and that sickness out in the streets like that.
Christian Hospital is part of the Barnes Jewish Healthcare Network. A spokeswoman told 5 on Your Side it cannot comment due to patient confidentiality laws. For now, Lacey says he's unsure how to feel about the hospital's pledge to follow up once they finish their investigation.
We'll see once I get the next letter.
The medical examiner's office tells me Miller's age, combined with the fact that there was no trauma to his body, means he won't be getting an autopsy. Lacey can't afford a burial, so his remains will be at the morgue until the county can send them to a crematory. Meanwhile, the letter from the hospital also gave Lacey a phone number to call if he doesn't receive a response by October 27th. Christine Byers, 5 on Your Side.
Tonight, Florissant city leaders will decide if hundreds of new homes will be built in Coke Park in what they call a land swap. 5 on Your Side's Diamond Palmer reports residents are divided about this issue, and she is live in Florissant with both sides. Diamond.
Well, and residents are extremely passionate about this issue. Residents we talked to earlier said that they believe this could be a good thing because Florissant is growing and this could match their new population size, while others believe this could limit the amount of green spaces that they currently have in the city. Now, the city's mayor, Timothy Lowry, says the land swap came about through a comprehensive plan where residents voiced concerns about outdated homes. He says it revealed 91% of homes in Florissant were built pre-1970 with small square footages. McBride Homes will oversee this new project of 108 new single-family homes and 12 additional acres of green space. The homes that would be built would cost about $250,000 to $500,000, and they will be 1,200 to 2,500 square feet in size. Resident I spoke to earlier today have their reasons for and against this plan.
I come to this park to hit golf balls. I enjoy the openness of the area and ball fields and soccer fields and everything.
I think constantly building more and more is just growing the community more, bringing more people together.
Now, the city says this issue has already gone through the Planning and Zoning Commission and even had public hearing from the community right here in Florissant at the last city council meeting. Now, tonight, that will mark the final say from city leaders. Reporting live here in Florissant, Diamond Palmer, 5 on Your Side.
United Auto Workers strike against another company. Why more workers are joining the picket line and the new offer on the table.
The House is set to vote on its next speaker, who is running, and how many votes they need to win.
Chilly start to the week. It's starting to feel more like fall with temps in the 30s, but a little warmer in the city. And that warming trend continues over the next few days. Why it gets warmer and how long we can expect to stick around with that the next week.